What if you've already lived this exact life before, and right now you're just re-watching the rerun? Every decision, every conversation, every mistake, it's already been done. You're just watching yourself do it again, like a movie on repeat. But if that's true, then do you actually have free will? Or are you just an audience member trapped inside your own body, pretending to make choices? What if memories aren't proof of the past, but previews of the future? Maybe déjà vu isn't a glitch in the brain. It's the moment your body remembers what is about to happen before it does. Imagine that. You think you're moving forward, but really, you're just remembering in reverse. And if your life is flashing before your eyes right now, how would you even know? What if this whole thing, me talking, you listening, was already part of your highlight reel? If you can't tell the difference between living and replaying, then maybe being alive is just the longest dream you'll ever have. So here is the question. If you woke up tomorrow and realized this was all just the trailer, would you still want to watch the full movie? Your own body is probably the most dangerous thing you'll ever face. Think about it. Your stomach is basically a ticking time bomb. If you don't keep feeding it, it turns against you, gnawing at itself until it takes you down. Eating doesn't actually make you stronger, it just keeps you from dying slightly faster. Same with water. Your body is basically a leaky bucket that constantly needs to be refilled, or it starts shutting down one organ at a time. Your lungs aren't any better. They give you a countdown every few seconds, and the only way to reset it is to suck in invisible air and hope it is not poisoned. Miss one breath, and the entire system collapses. You don't even have to think about it. Your body just panics for you. And then there's sleep. For a third of your life, you're unconscious, completely vulnerable, lying motionless in the dark. It's the body's way of hitting the restart button, but it feels less like rest and more like practicing being dead. We'd like to think we're in control, but really, you're just bargaining with your organs every day. Keep me alive a little longer, and I'll give you food, water, and sleep. Here's something strange. Antarctica is technically the safest place on Earth to have a baby. Every single one of the 11 babies born there survived, which means it has a 0% infant mortality rate. Statistically speaking, Antarctica is undefeated. That's one record no country can match. And speaking of statistics, birthdays aren't nearly as unique as we think. There are only 365 different ones to go around, 366 if you're tree special, yet almost 8 billion people are forced to share. The odds that your day is really just someone else's day are basically 100%. Imagine blowing out your candles while 1,000 strangers you'll never meet do the exact same thing. Even stranger, if you're over 30, you've outlived every single dog currently alive on the planet. That means every dog you see is younger than you. You're basically a time traveler surrounded by shorter-lived companions. And here's a fun one. Bread is just a loaf of dough, cheese is technically a loaf of milk, and ice cubes are tiny loaves of water. Which means your freezer is actually just a bakery that doesn't know it. This is a bakery. We think the world is normal, but the facts say otherwise. Words are weird when you really stop to think about them. Take short and long, for example. It takes more letters to spell short than it does to spell long. How is that fair? Language is secretly mocking us. Even letters themselves have moods. The S in Mercedes sounds nothing like the S in sun, and yet we don't complain because we've been trained to accept it. And your lips? Ever notice how when you say forward, they move forward, but when you say back, they move backward? It's like the alphabet is choreographing a tiny dance on your face. And punctuation isn't innocent either. A period doesn't just stop your sentence, it stops your thought, your rhythm, even your brain for a split second. Commas are just the polite way of saying, hold on, I need to catch my breath. Then there's irony hidden in plain sight. Hurricanes are named after chaos, but the most dangerous part, the I, is calm. Your I is right there in the middle of the word, quietly watching everything spiral out of control. Language is a prank that millions of years of evolution never bothered to explain. Every word is a joke, a puzzle, and a tiny mind trick all rolled into one. Everyone asks the same question: where do we go when we die? But no one ever asks the other half: where were we before we were born? Before your first breath, before your first thought, you didn't exist. But somehow, the universe still did. Does that mean nothingness is normal, and life is just a temporary glitch? Time itself feels like a prank. You remember the past, plan for the future, but the present slips through your fingers like sand. Every choice you make, every path you take, is just a small ripple in a river that was already flowing long before you arrived. And if everything that happens was inevitable, are your dreams really yours, or just echoes of something the universe already wrote? Maybe being alive is less about control and more about noticing the story while it unfolds, because one day it will all be gone. Humans are hilarious when you really think about it. We complain about traffic, yet every car on the road exists only because we wanted freedom and independence. We invented chairs to sit down, but we also invented chairs for our arms, like our limbs were too lazy to just hang there. We argue about food too. People debate whether it's okay to eat animals, even though we're animals ourselves. And if vegetarians fight, is that technically a beef? Life is just one long loop of contradictions. Money is another joke. The money you earn is never really yours. Doctors get rich because you get sick. Mechanics profit when your car breaks. Lawyers thrive on mistakes. The system is basically a giant game where everyone is trying to survive while someone else cashes in on your failures. And technology. We scroll for hours on our phones, convinced we're moving forward, but literally nothing is moving except the pixels. Meanwhile, your laptop overheats and freezes, and the King of England wouldn't even know because he never had the internet. Life is both absurd and brilliant all at once. And here's the part where I realize I've probably lost half of you in the weeds of my weird thoughts. That's okay. I'd be worried if you weren't. You're still here, listening to me ramble about breathing hurricanes and loaves of milk. Honestly, that's impressive. Either you're really patient or you secretly enjoy questioning your own existence while a stranger on the internet talks at you. But let's pause for a second. Look at what's happening right now. I'm speaking, you're listening, and we're both participating in a tiny, absurd collaboration. My words are flowing into your ears, your brain is interpreting them, and somehow we've created this shared experience from nothing but sound waves and pixels. And yes, you could have stopped at any moment. You could be scrolling, watching TikToks or staring at a wall, but you didn't. You stayed here, and for that, congratulations. You are officially complicit in my existential shower thoughts. So, while you're laughing, thinking, or quietly questioning your life choices, remember, I know you're still here, and honestly, I'm flattered. When you step back and really look at it, Earth is just a tiny speck in an incomprehensibly vast universe. Half of what exists is literally out of your sight at any given moment, and yet here you are, thinking your problems are the center of everything. The galaxy's done to care if you forgot to drink water today or left the lights on last night. They busy spinning, colliding, and creating stars. And yet, somehow, you exist. Your body, your thoughts, your memories, they're all made of stardust, literally the same particles that have existed since the beginning of time. Every heartbeat, every blink, every thought is a miracle of chemistry and chance. You are a walking, thinking, debating, laughing experiment that the universe built and set loose on this small blue planet. Almost everything you've ever owned, everyone you've ever known, and every moment you've experienced is still out there somewhere, swirling through the cosmos in ways you'll never fully grasp. And even with all that, you are here right now, capable of thinking about all of it, and maybe even laughing at it too. The universe is infinite, but your awareness of it is the rarest thing of all. And speaking of curiosity, if you want to dive even deeper into the weird, wonderful, and mind-bending facts about our universe, there's a place you can go where this kind of thinking is practically a lifestyle. It's called Curiosity Stream, a streaming platform dedicated entirely to documentaries and educational content. We're talking shows that explore everything from the far reaches of space, the origins of life, to the strange quirks of human behavior. Basically, everything we've been rambling about, but with visuals and expert insights that make it way cooler than me talking to you in your bathroom. You can watch fascinating series from legends like Stephen Hawking, as well as modern creators you might already follow on YouTube, like Veritasium. It's the kind of content that makes you go, wait, I didn't even know that existed, while still being insanely entertaining. And the best part, you can watch it anywhere, on your computer, TV, or mobile device, so you're never more than a few taps away from learning something new and completely blowing your own mind. If you head over to CuriosityStream.com Aperture, you can get 30 days completely free using the promo code Aperture, and after that, unlimited access is just $2.99 a month. Honestly, it's the best way to feed your brain while still supporting yourself, and maybe even supporting this little corner of the internet that brought you all these shower thoughts in the first place.